Hey everyone, this is a review of the Nitecore Tip SE rechargeable keychain flashlight. This thing weighs in at under an ounce and is capable of outputting an awesome 700 lumens on burst mode. So I'm going to cover what this thing can do, how to operate it, and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So here's the flashlight up close. It's really tiny. I mean, you can see exactly how small it is. It's about the size of a key fob for a car, and it fits really well on a keychain. It's not too much extra bulk. So to start off with, it's got an anodized aluminum finish, and it's pretty resilient. I've been carrying it in my pocket for a couple weeks now, and the only signs of damage I have are right around here where the keychain ring keeps hitting it. Nothing else, no scratches on any other part of it, thanks to the hard anodized finish. This thing comes with a few different accessories. It's got a carabiner spring-loaded clip for taking on and off your keychain, so you don't have to have it on your keys all the time. It comes with a regular keychain ring, a smaller keychain ring, and a plastic pocket clip. So the different modes this one has, it's low on 1 lumen for up to 50 hours. Medium is 30 lumens for 8 hours. High is 180 lumens for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then you've got a turbo mode, which is 700 lumens, and it will last 15 minutes on that, but not continuous. One thing I found after this that I was a little bit disappointed by, after about a minute to 2 minutes in turbo mode, this thing will get so hot you can barely hold on to it. And at that point, it will actually switch back and not let you do turbo mode due to heat dissipation, and it'll go back to high. Now, one thing I really like about this light is they have packed a ton of ways to operate this into just 2 buttons. So you've got obviously on-off, turns your light on or off, and then you've got mode, and it'll switch between the high, medium, and low, and then if you hold it down, you can do turbo. The interesting thing is, if you hold the on button, it turns on 1 lumen, and you can turn it back off. If you just press the on button, it comes onto your last setting. So that, I think I had it on high there. And then if you wanted to come up in turbo, you can hold the mode button down, and it comes up in turbo, and it stays on in turbo. All right, so you can bring it up with barely any light. You can bring it up in your last setting, or you can bring it up in turbo, which I really like, not having to cycle through all of the settings to get to either a low one or a high one. The one other thing these buttons do is switch it between daily mode and demo mode. So there's a demo mode where this will only come on for 30 seconds and then shut off. So if you're carrying it in your pocket or a backpack, that's a good idea because you won't waste all your batteries if you have an inadvertent button press. If you want to keep it on continuously and you don't want it to shut off after that little bit, you just change the mode by holding down the buttons, both of them at the same time, and it'll flash once or twice. So if it flashes once, you're in demo mode. If it flashes twice, you're in daily mode. To give you an idea of the brightness of this thing, I'm going to turn off all the lights in my basement and have this as the only source of illumination. To start off with, I've got low, which is 1 lumen. You can barely see anything. It's enough, though, to get your keys out, find a lock or something like that, find something you dropped on the floor. Then next, you've got medium, 30 lumens. Quite a bit brighter. You can get a lot more done. You can see a lot more. Then you've got high, 180. And turbo, which remember is 700 lumens. Significantly brighter. You got a nice even beam here. There is a little bit of a hot spot in the center, but it's not significant. It's still pretty an even pattern. This is drop resistant to 1 meter, and it's also IP54 rated for water. So that means it's splashing water and rain resistant. It is not waterproof, so don't dunk it underwater because it's not rated for submersion. But you can see I ran it under my sink faucet, and I tried to get water in around the on-off and the mode button, and I also poured water directly into the USB-C port. And I didn't notice any negative performance at the time when it was running, but the next time I did go to charge it, I noticed it was acting a little bit weird. So normally this mode button, when you press it, will give you flashes for its charge status, and it'll normally be 3 flashes for 50% to 100% charge, 2 flashes for 10 to 50% charge, and 1 flash for under 10% charge. And then when it gets really low, it will flash continuously, letting you know you're almost out of battery. And when it's green, when it's done charging, it'll turn from red, solid red, to solid green. And you can see when it was done charging, it was flashing red while it was still completely green. And it would turn green when it was done charging. I'd pull out the charging plug and I'd hit the battery status, and it would flash once like it was under 10%. So I turned it on and ran it on turbo in hopes that it would heat up and dry out any moisture was in there, and that seemed to do the trick, and I haven't had any problems with it since. So just a warning, don't pour water directly in the USB-C port like I did, or directly on top of these. It does seem to be pretty waterproof, and it works fine after that pretty extreme torture test. Just don't push your luck with it. So I ended up doing a runtime test for this, and I was like, I'll just do it on turbo and get 15 minutes, and I realized you can't run it continuously on turbo for 15 minutes because it will overheat. But I did run it on turbo and then switch between turbo and high for about 30 minutes, going back and forth between both of those. And it was getting really hot, and I'd let it cool down on high for a little bit and put it back in turbo as soon as it would do that. And after 30 minutes, it wouldn't go into high anymore, and then it stayed in medium for another 10 minutes or so, and then it went to low after that. And somewhere between the 40-minute to 55-minute mark, it turned off, and it started flashing right before it turned off, that red behind the menu button. I really like that feature, that instead of just giving you 15 minutes of turbo or an hour and a half of high, it will actually recognize it's about to run out of batteries on one of those settings, and it will kick down to a lower setting to give you more time so you aren't completely left in the dark. You still have a little bit of illumination. I think that's a great feature that they built into this, and I really like it. The internal battery on this is a 500 milliamp hour battery, and the charging circuitry included with it has overcharge protection, over discharge protection, and short circuit protection. Charge time from this, from completely empty to full, is right around an hour and a half. I tried to time it twice, and I noticed at like an hour and 35 and an hour and 40 minutes that it was done. So it's right around their claimed charge time. So I have used this thing outside, mostly while walking the dog at night. And it's got a great range on it. They claim 90 meters on turbo. This is probably 40 to 50 yards you're seeing right here on turbo. And it does a great job lighting up that whole distance. It really is a great little light, especially if you just need to see for a few minutes on turbo or an extended period of time on high, medium, or low. Price point on this is $30, and I'll go ahead and put a link to Amazon and Nitecore's website if you want to price it in case that changes. And it does not come with a charging cable. So since it's USB-C, most people will have one of those. If you don't, I think it's an extra $5 that Nitecore adds on if you need to buy it. So hopefully this review was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below. And once again, don't forget to subscribe.